So my purpose for being at the range today actually was not to cut a video or do anything like this. It was just some general maintenance. But there are a couple things going on I thought I'd share with you. One was, since I'm already here and since I've got the camera and since I've got your attention at this point, thank you for that, I thought maybe we should talk a little bit more in depth about the Leupold Mark AR scope and how simple it is to use for the amazing job that it does, helping us get on target at several different distances. So we're going to look at that, and I just picked up a new set of offset backup iron sights, and we'll talk about these a little bit, why I think they're important, and look at the ones that I'm using today. First things first, I've got this on paper at 35 yards. It should be really close at 100. I'm going to fine tune it. Now to do that, we don't even have to remove any scope caps. All we've got to do is turn the turrets until we're on target at 100 where we want to be. After it's on at 100 yards, all we have to do is loosen up the little set screws around the turrets, bring it back to 0 and tighten them up. That's it. There's no special math. There's no voodoo magic. It's really as simple as that. And this particular scope is made for 55 grain 223 or 556. And that's it. That's all we've got to know. And it puts us on target at several different distances every single time. It's really as easy as that. Let's get it dialed in and fine-tuned at 100, and then we'll set the turrets. Come down a little more. And let's bring it to the right just a tiny bit. Might as well get as close as we can at this distance, and that's going to ensure the accuracy when it really starts to matter. Perfect. Now that we've got it zeroed at 100 yards, let's zoom in on the turrets, and I'll show you what we're going to do to re-zero the bullet drop compensating system. It's crazy easy, especially for the amount of performance we get. Let's start with the elevation. So we've got these little set screws, and all we want to do is back them out just a little bit. And we want to make sure while we're doing this, we don't turn anything until they're completely loose. When they are, all we're going to do is rotate. Now this is free floating. It's not changing the adjustment on anything. We want to bring it back to 0. And we're going to co-witness the number 1 and the 0 with this dot on the scope. And it's as simple as that. We'll tighten these up, and then we'll move to the windage adjustment. Now we're going to do the same thing on the windage. Without allowing it to rotate, because it's already locked in where we want it, we're going to loosen these set screws up. After they're loosened up and it's free spinning, we're going to set it back to 0 and then tighten it up again. All right, so let's spin that back to 0, and here, again, we're going to co-witness the 0 with this dot right here. We'll tighten it back up, and at that point, at 0 and at 0, we're set for 100 yards. And at that point, once we want to change distances, we don't have to do anything with the mil dots or understand anything about that even at this point. All we need to do is set, if we're just going for elevational changes, set the top to 200 or 300 or 400 and then aim straight on. Let's tighten these up and then let's proof it at a few different distances. So we're starting on 0 or the 100 yard marker. Let's go center of mass at 100 yards, And if we're right on, let's continue all the way out to 400. Not that I'm concerned that the scope has any problems. I'm the knucklehead that we have to double check. Let's start at 100. Okay, right on. We're going to adjust it. Not doing any math, simply bringing the turret to 2 for 200 and aim dead on there. Easy as that. Let's go to 300. And again, we're going to aim straight on. We don't have to compensate with the reticle. We're just aiming straight on. Beautiful. And let's try 400. We've got some pretty strong winds today, which seems to be somewhat the norm. Murphy's Law and all, but we'll give it a try anyway. 400 yards. Don't you love those shoot steel targets? You get that feedback right away. We don't have to run down and look at anything. I paint them with a bright colored paint with a white base under it, with a black base under that, and the shots really show up, even out to 400 with just a 9-power scope. Anyway, I'll stop talking and start shooting. Back to 400 yards. Beautiful. Excellent. All right, let's walk it back. 300, 200, 100, and when we're done, we'll be all sighted in for 100 yards again. Perfect. And at 200. And 100. Doesn't take long to get there from only 100 yards out. Now this, just as a testament to how well this system performs, I'm running Wolf ammo, just Wolf steel case in a really dirty gun. So, and trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. So we're all set with the Leupold Mark AR. Let's go on the short distance range and take a look at these offset backup iron sights. I'm really excited about these. So we've got the same package now, except over on the pistol and submachine gun range. And this particular system isn't something I would typically have out at a distance this close. But with these little backup offset iron sights, shouldn't be any problem at all. So all we're going to do is depress a button on the bottom. The sight will pop up. Same with the rear sight, and we're good to go. Now we've got iron sights, and all that we've got to do from our regular stance is just tilt the rifle off just a little bit, and nothing gets in the way. You're able to tilt it right back and use the scope if you want. It makes all the sense in the world to me. Again, I'm an equipment person, not a tactics person, so I would definitely seek the advice of a trusted individual. A gunfighter. I'm just a knuckle dragging trigger puller, so take it for what it's worth. We're talking about mechanical things, not tactics. But as far as mechanics work, to me, it makes all the sense in the world. So let's give it a try. I've got a little 1/2 size silhouette from shootsteel.com downrange. We'll try it through the open sights. That's fantastic. No problem at all. No problem at all. And again, very comfortable. It sounds a little bit odd to tilt the rifle off to the side like that, but I don't know. This is the standard position. This is the iron sights. So it actually, I don't know. It feels a lot more natural than I thought it would. I thought that it would be awkward or uncomfortable to take some getting used to, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this particular package. You know, when you put something together and it fits and it clicks, man, hang on to it. And that seems to be the case with this one. The first time I got a cheek weld on one of these professional series rifles, I don't know, everything just clicked. I like the stock. It doesn't pull on facial hair, which a lot of them do. It's balanced really well. It's really comfortable. I like the forend. I think they hit it out of the park with it. It's the BCI Defense Professional Series, and I'll put a link to it down below. But it's, you know, the whole package, it just keeps getting better and better all the time. When I was introduced to the Leupold Mark AR scope, I had no idea, and it's not even new. It was just new to me. But I had no idea that it was so simple to engage targets at so many different distances so fast without having without having to bring a dope card to the range with you. And in the case of this one, it's just amazing. As you just saw, it's really that simple. And I'm not running match ammunition by any stretch of the imagination, nor is it locked in anything. I just use the rest for a little bit of balance. The sound suppressor, using an American manufacturing XXX-Warrior. Again, as you'll notice, I don't ever use hearing protection with this full boat stuff, and it's not only well below the threshold of damage, it's way below the threshold of pain. It's just comfortable to shoot. And when you're shooting steel targets or binary targets, man, there's so much more you can hear when you don't have your ears covered up. There's so much report, so much feedback that you get. It's unbelievable. And I don't know, it makes shooting a lot more enjoyable. And if you're in an enclosed area, if you're in a building or a home or a hallway or a vehicle or anything like that, that suppressor is going to save these. I mean, it's going to cut back on confusion, disorientation. If you and your immediate family, your team members, your group also use them, any shot that you hear that's not suppressed, you're going to be able to identify as hostile fire. It cuts back on flash as well as it cuts back on noise. There are just all kinds of reasons that you can use to convince yourself you need a sound suppressor, and I think once you try it, I don't believe there will be any going back. This particular one is covered with it's called the Bowers Group Grip-tastic suppressor cover. And it's a silicone based, I don't know if it really is, to me it's a silicone base, that's what it feels like, material. It makes it so you can handle the can after firing numerous rounds. And it also cuts back on the signature. You don't get all that mirage coming up like you do from a hot can to interfere with your sight. And to top things off today, these little sights, these little offset backup sights, I've looked at them quite a bit, tested some in the past, never looked at any for a personal rifle before, and that's what this is. And man, I like it. I really like it. I just like the whole thing, and I'm sure that you wouldn't be disappointed with this combination or any part of it either. So thank you for joining me at the range today. It was a quick, impromptu, unplanned kind of thing, but I'm glad that you send me questions and comments like you do, because it helps me answer those for you. So if you did enjoy it, please click like, share us with your friends in your vast social media universe, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and until next time, have fun and be safe. I almost caught myself in a man code violation. I only have a few rounds left in this particular magazine I'm using, and I started to unload it, and it clicked. I would have lost my man card immediately. I can't unload a magazine manually at the range. I have to unload it the right way. There. That was a close one.